Haley Clendenning, and this is our second week here at KCNR Radio. And just in case you guys missed who we are, I'm going to give you a little wrap up just to entice you. Women of Vision is a movement, women supporting women and embracing our uniqueness to inspire others. So, if that intrigues you at all, get on our website and come check it out. It is www.womenofvisionmovement.com. You can find all of our upcoming events. And I am sitting here tonight with two of my favorite women of vision. Damika is sitting and hosting with me tonight.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing, girl?
I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah,
with you.
Excited to host with
and
you.
Jessee.
I know, it's our first time hosting together, so it's kind of fun.
For sure.
And then we are sitting down tonight with Jessee Baldwin.
Hey, hey.
How's it going?
It's going good.
We've done this before.
We have.
I feel like it's a reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, you are an independent certified health coach.
I am.
It's kind of a mouthful.
It is.
Tell
I
me
did that on purpose.
Tell us a little bit about you and what that is and what you do.
I'm an independent certified health coach, like you said, and what that looks like is I help people get healthy, realize what their goals are, and just help them get there. It's that simple.
Wow. Okay. So this might be kind of a general question, but what does that entail exactly? How often do you meet? Give us some of the basic logistics here.
Be general, that's good.
Or specific.
We'll get there.
Someone will reach out to me, either they'll call my cell or they'll email or reach out on social media, and I will meet with them and I'll just talk and say, what is it you want to accomplish? And what has stopped you from getting there before? So that's the beginning of the process, the coaching process, is I strive to understand exactly what it is that they want to do and what's stopping them. And through that process, I match them with a program. I coach 12 different doctor-approved programs. So as I go through that process, I want to match them with something that's going to best meet their needs, their lifestyle. For instance, if they're super busy, they might need more convenience, and also their budget. And then once I match them with the program, I coach them through it for free.
Okay, wow. That's amazing. So just to kind of go before we get too far in, while we're still general, how did you get into this business? A brief little.
Well, I got into it. That's a great question. I've been a dental hygienist for 15 years, and then back in 2015, I had my own health transformation. I lost a ton of weight, which transformed everything in my life. I'm a mom with 4 young kids, and once I figured out, hey, I can do this, and if I can do this, someone else can do it too, I made a career shift. So I went and got certified in health coaching. I decided I want to help other people do what I did, and that's how I got into it.
That's pretty amazing. Who was your coach that inspired you to get healthy?
Her name's Dr. Christine Weir. She's in Chico, California.
Oh, close.
And yeah, close. And she walked me through it, and it was incredible. Initially lost, 174 pounds.
Wow. Dang.
And it was phenomenal.
That's amazing.
So I love it. I'm passionate about helping other people do this because I know what it's like to struggle, and I know what that feels like. So.
Is there a specific process that you go through with each individual that you're coaching?
There is. Specific process is once I meet with them and figure out what it is they need to match them with the program. Then I get them set up with that program. I meet with them the day before they start. I coach people all over the country. So I do a lot of video conferencing through Zoom. I'll meet in person or phone calls. And we'll do I call it a journey kickoff. And we sit down, we talk with them, and get them started strong. Then the first 5 days while they're doing the program, I connect with them every single day. So I'm there. They can text me anytime. We get on the phone for a 10-minute phone call. I look over what they did, make any modifications, make sure they're feeling really good, that they're happy with the process, make sure that they're plugged into all aspects of their program. A lot of different programs out there. And then I set them up with a weekly coaching call, and that's where I just help them. I call it more client-led based coaching. And what I mean by that is I meet a client where they're at. So some clients really need baby steps. They've tried a lot of things.
You need to hold your hand the whole way through.
Yeah, holding hand is fine. I can hand hold, I can cheerlead, I can bark like a coach from the sidelines. I match my coaching style to what it is that they need. And so I've done a lot of work with empathetic coaching, and it's client-led for the most part. I meet them where they're at and take them where they want to go at their pace.
It probably helps make you very successful knowing what your client wants is, you know, you're going to be able to provide
Exactly,
them
you
with
gotta
that.
match the need, right? I think I've coached close to 800 people in the last 4 years. I'm just entering my 5th year now.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's a lot. So I have a question. What would you tell women that are on the fence about getting coaching? Or maybe they think that they don't need coaching, you know? What would you tell them? Because really at the end of the day, we're all busy women and men and leading lives, and sometimes we do let our health go by the wayside, and I'm just kind of curious what you would tell somebody that might be so about it, or how would you get them to take the leap?
I can't get anyone to do anything. That's kind of
True.
one of the things I love about coaching. So if someone's not sure, why do I need this? All I do is ask questions. I'm going to ask questions. What is their reservation about it? Have they ever had a coach? If they've ever had a coach, what did that coach do for them? Did they find benefit to it? And so when I ask questions, it really awakens inside of them what they need, rather than me telling them, you need a coach. Clearly you can't do it on your own. You need a coach. That closes everybody off. When you ask questions and you can bring it and draw out of them what they need, then it becomes a personalized one-on-one experience. That's
Right.
just the very beginning of trust being built between myself and the client.
And that's huge.
Mhm.
Because obviously you have to have that rapport to be able to really get in and dive deep and figure out, like you said, what your client needs and meet them where they're at.
Right.
What do you think that the most common concern that people do come to you with coaching and they want coaching? Is it just to lose weight? Is it to learn how to meal prep? Is it learn how to be accountable? What do you see as the most common?
Boy, that was a
Reason.
general question again. That's like buckshot. That just hits so many different things.
Well, you don't notice one thing over another that people
Or a
consistently
theme.
talk to you about? Or
Yes.
yeah.
I think the biggest thing that people come to me with, honestly, is emotional eating. Hands down. Whether or not
Okay.
someone has 10 pounds to lose or 150 pounds to lose, emotional eating, especially amongst women, seems to be a running theme that I see a lot.
Is that what we call it when we snack from like 8 till bedtime?
Are you hungry?
Right.
Did you poorly manage your energy throughout the day?
It's relatable though, you know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
everyone has those moments. You know, I consider myself to be a pretty healthy person, but it does not mean that there are not weeks that I'm like, oh, I'm eating a lot more this week than the usual.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. So I don't want to get into too deep to that subject just yet because we are coming up relatively close to a little commercial break. But I do want to know too what you think sets you apart when we come back from different health coaches, because there's a lot of different types of coaching, and you seem to be very not just health oriented, but I would imagine people benefit a lot from just motivation in life in general from you. So I definitely want to know a little bit more about what makes you different in your opinion. And I do want to mention really quick before we do go to our break, some of our sponsors for the show. Linda Lingo, financial coach, and then also Legal Shield, Sarah Beck, what's up girl? And then Jessee Baldwin, health coach.
Hey, look at that. I sponsored my own show.
Awesome.
She is, yeah. And we do have a couple of others that we'll be, of course, mentioning later on here, but I'm just really excited. Sorry, bear with me. I have a little extra time now before the break. I'm learning how to, get this all evened out.
For sure.
Live radio. What's up? But if you guys do want to call in too, by the way, it is a live show. So if you have any questions or comments for Jessee and you want to call in, you can reach us at 605-4567. And again, we are here at KCNR 96.5 FM, 1460 AM. And I'm just curious if you have any questions too coming up here, Tamika, if you've thought of anything interesting to...
Well, I definitely want to get more into the empathetic coaching or psychology or whatever you call it. I'm going to get more into that.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
absolutely. I'm very excited just to hear a little bit more about, like I said, what sets you apart. There are so many different types of coaches, and they're, that's, I guess, it's such a general question that I asked earlier, but I am curious, how women would choose a coach. Like, how do you know specifically what it is maybe that you are looking for? I don't know. Have you had a coach other than the one that you had with your health coaching?
Well, I've had basketball coaches and softball coaches and volleyball coaches and
I didn't even think about that. I've had a lot of coaches too then.
financial coaches. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That's awesome. That's probably also helped frame your mindset for how you coach, I bet. So anyways, join us here shortly. We'll be back with Jessee Baldwin. Everybody, welcome back to the Women of Vision show. We are sitting down here tonight with Jessee Baldwin, independent certified health coach, and we were discussing right before we went to the commercial break about what sets you apart from other coaches, kind of what you think makes you unique from anyone else.
The first thing that comes to mind when you say that is I totally get the struggle. I think that's really attractive to people, that I get it. When they come to me, there's no judgment. I totally get it. And that feels good and it feels comfortable. So women can come to me out of a place of comfort, knowing that, and nothing against like super skinny model type coaches. Great, good for them, that's awesome. But that's not me. I'm real woman, real world, and I get kids, business, life, marriage, I get it all. And I think that's what sets me apart. I'm sure there's a lot of coaches just like me. I think the programs that I coach set me apart also. They are total comprehensive programs. So I don't coach any diets. We address everything, the person as a whole. It's like a total wellness program, if you will. So the programs that I coach specifically address more than just your nutritional needs. They deal with other things such as stress reduction, healthy boundaries, healthy relationships. They teach things like, I'm going to get into some psychology here, the drama triangle.
Yeah.
They teach the drama triangle, where women love to live. And how do you identify when you're there and get back up above the line into the empowerment triangle? So what this is talking about is really emotional management. And I don't want to just peg myself in a place where I just coach women, because I coach men too. But for women in America, we have a huge case of emotional mismanagement, and everything can upset us and everything can ruin our day. And how can we get control of those things? Because it does affect our eating, it affects our goals, it affects everything. And if mama ain't happy,
nobody's happy.
Nobody's happy.
But can I say something? I just read a quote that is in alignment with what you're talking about. And what they're saying is that your thoughts make you fat, not the food. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I love that.
That's a great question.
I wish I could just say, Jessee, you're skinny. Jessee. But there's so much science behind your thought life.
Exactly.
Positive thinking, and that goes back to drama triangle, which I know we're not getting much into that right now, and empowerment triangle. How can you recognize when you're having a negative thought about yourself or a situation and flip that into something positive? See that as an opportunity to learn instead of beating yourself up.
Yeah, that's the hardest part, I feel. You know what I mean? That negative self-talk, it's automatic sometimes. People, you know what I mean? If you're not aware of the fact that, you know, I need to switch that or have the tools to do that, that's something that it's like a cycle.
Well, it starts when you're young, really. If you've got kids, what are you always telling that toddler?
Be careful.
Right. No.
Yeah.
They hear way more no's than they ever hear yeses. It's almost like we're ingraining, and there's nothing wrong with that. You got to teach them boundaries, and no is the easiest and fastest way for safety. But you've got it ties into your self-worth, and when women come to me, their self-worth is usually not that great. They've been beat up by the world. They've been raised however they've been raised, and we have to do some deprogramming. Or I like to use the word defragmenting. Anyone over the age of 40 knows what it's like to defrag your computer, right? You got to get out those places in your mind that are not serving you. And that comes out through coaching.
Yeah. And I would definitely say, as women, we put everyone else first. I just recently started working out after 4 years. 4 years it took me to get back on the wagon, or, you know, get back on track with working out. So, and it's only because, you know, you put everyone else first. Your work is first. Your kids are first. You know, so how do you help women get out of that cycle?
Again, I ask questions. Women will get back into what they're passionate about and put themselves first when they see themselves as a priority. But they don't see
some truth.
I know it, right? They don't see themselves as a priority. And so when you can lay it out for them and help them see through asking questions, through empathetic coaching, that, hey, how much better are the kids going to be? How much better and sweeter is your marriage going to be if you're happy?
I was just going to say, that's probably guilt is hard, because it's like, it's not that we probably don't think about the fact that we need to do more things for ourselves. It's that internal struggle where you're like, okay, so I choose this hour and 15 minutes at the gym, but I'm going to be away, and then I'm rushing home, and I'm missing homework time, and I'm missing this. And then it's like that, you know, that mom guilt that kind of kicks in or whatever. And so then it's kind of like, oh, well, maybe I'll work out tomorrow.
So
Or
it's being creative, Haley. It's about being creative. It's about finding those nooks and crannies and prioritizing things. I wouldn't miss kids' homework to work out at the gym. That's just me personally. But are there other things you can do? Absolutely.
Right.
I'm also not super, and I hate to say this, I'm not super workout at the gym based. Okay. I coach to things that people can do long term. I coach things where people can make small changes so that even when their motivation is in the toilet, they can still do them because they're that simple.
And because it fits into their lifestyle, of what
Right.
they can actually
So
do.
very
Some people are just
simple
not
things.
gym people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Some people love it. They want to tear
Right.
it up at the gym. I'm not one of those people. I've been there. I played college ball. It's not me anymore. I got 4 kids and that's not my passion. If someone wants that, I'll absolutely match them with a nutrition plan to support it. But that's not naturally my go-to with women who are so busy and so overwhelmed. And the last thing they think they can do is go to the gym. I'm going to agree with them. Let's get your nutrition lined up first and get you feeling better there first. Let's get the fat loss so you're feeling good about yourself. And then if you want to go tone up at the gym, that's going to be your next step.
Okay,
So like
so
I
it's
said,
that
baby
process
steps.
there.
It's a process. You can't throw everyone and change everything overnight. It won't work. That's like New Year's resolutions, right? It's January 1st, you got all this gumption that you're gonna change everything. Well, here we are, February 11th. Where are you at on those resolutions, right?
Even as a kid, for some reason, I just was always like, this isn't a good idea. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
the New Year's
yeah,
resolution.
like
Oh, yeah.
just, I've never been a person to set New Year's resolutions. I don't know. It's just
Right.
kind of like, why now? It should
Yeah.
just be anytime, I guess, or
Right.
whenever you're ready to make that commitment, really, is what it comes
It's
down
just
to.
a fresh feeling for people.
I guess that's
Yeah.
true.
And my clients write it, and I let them write it because I'm not gonna like
Take
bottle
that all
up
you
their
can.
motivation. I'll be like, hey, it's awesome, it's a new year, let's do this.
No,
Well, because I
absolutely.
still do the vision boards, and I still have like certain terms that I have for that year. Like last year was evolve, this year is shift. You know, so it's like that works for me, but not specific things that I might fail on.
Yeah, absolutely. It comes down to self-efficacy.
Just a moment.
So what I mean by self-efficacy is if you can give someone a small task, a small habit that they can install, and they can do that every single day, they become proficient in it. It becomes easy. Self-efficacy. It's not overwhelming. So when I meet with someone, I'll dial in right away what we're gonna work on first. And honestly, for most people, it's water. It's that simple. They are not drinking enough water. Too much coffee, too much soda,
Right.
and then it just all tumbles down from there. So a lot of my coaching really has to do with keeping people on track in alignment with their goals, which I can't keep them there, but when I ask them questions and remind them that this is important to them, this is a priority, they are worth it, they are worthy.
Well, yeah, I mean, probably help them find actually healthy balance too, because, I mean, reality is, you know, there's the ebbs and flows of life. Not one thing is always going to flow exactly the way you need it to one day, and so finding a balance and giving people, you know, options or.
One thing that helps with balance in life, because I'm a mom, a business owner, I got 4 kids, I'm
Busy
married,
lady.
I'm very busy, but I'm very structured. And
Routine.
that routine, now that
I
comes
believe in it.
carefully to some, that comes real easily to some people, but not so much to others. So again, baby steps. But if you can just get your eating in a routine and alignment, and you don't have to guess, you don't have to know what is the latest fad out there. Do we do keto? Do we do this? Do we do that? Let's just do scientifically proven systems and programs with all the support. When I say all the support, what I mean by that is if you can surround yourself with an umbrella of support, you're going to be so much more likely to succeed. So for my clients,
Absolutely.
what that looks like is you got a free health coach, someone who's there to check in with you, who's there, who's your cheerleader. You got a community of support. So I've got an awesome local community here. We got a client support page. And then you got what I call a habit transformation program. And I coach that. And that goes back to teaching people about emotional management. And then you got the food plan. When you got all 4 pieces working together, that's when you have long-term success. That's when you have predictable outcomes. I don't want to be like, people have had their dreams dashed in other programs. They have done other things that didn't work out and they lost hope. And that's hard. So a lot of times when women come to me, they're seriously afraid to dream. They're afraid to think that it's even possible. So I believe for them until they believe for themselves. Just need a little bit of a trust. Yeah.
It's amazing. how are you free? I want to understand how
That's
this
awesome.
business works.
That's
Right.
fantastic. How am I free?
Please.
I'm just a super nice person.
You have
I have no bills to pay. No, I'm kidding. How am I free? I get commission from the programs that I coach. So when I match them with someone, isn't that awesome?
Mm-hmm.
So those companies pay me very well to coach my clients.
that's actually
Genius.
really
Phenomenal.
Mhm.
yeah.
Now, how do you decide who you want to coach? Are there some people that you'll turn away?
Hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
I don't even know what that would look like. I'm pretty versatile in what I can handle from
Mhm.
somebody. No, that hasn't happened yet. I would say that there's certain health conditions that I probably wouldn't handle. That I would say you've
Well,
got
that's
to talk to
fair.
your doctor first.
Okay.
So there's certain things like that we would put the brakes on first
Mm-hmm.
and get doctor approval for. But
Have you encountered anything like that
Yeah.
thus far?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, anyways, we are about to hit another quick commercial break. So before we do, just want to mention a couple more of our sponsors. Bargain Books and More. Also Everbloom Skincare, because everyone needs a facial, you guys. And Deborah Mitchell, Oils for Young and Healthy Living. So anyways, we're going to take a quick commercial break and then we'll come back and keep talking with Jessee about how to keep yourself motivated and in alignment with your health goals. Talk to you soon. Joe, hope you enjoyed the commercial break. Now we're going to get into some good stuff. So we've been talking about goals and not only your fitness goals, but your health goals in general and healthy mind goals. And you are a very busy mother, businesswoman, working on your own health goals. So I'm curious if you utilize your own program
I do.
in your day-to-day.
I absolutely use my own program. That's why I'm the biggest proponent of it, because it works.
Mhm.
It absolutely works. So I had to restart my health journey after having life interfere. We can talk about that in a minute. But this year so far, I'm down 17 pounds, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, awesome.
And and it's cool because I share that with my clients. We share our wins together. It's an amazing supportive community that I'm a part of and that I've created here. And so I use it for sure.
Okay. And what, I know you said that there's 12 different programs?
Right.
Do you utilize all 12 at once? Do you just tailor a couple to yourself?
There's a couple different weight loss programs. There's programs for people who have no weight to lose, but they just want to exercise and balance their blood sugar and not feel
Oh.
fatigued throughout the day. There's programs for type 1 diabetics, type 2 diabetics, senior citizens, teen boys and teen girls. They're different programs. There's a lot of different programs that we have. We have a gout program. We have a nursing moms program.
Wow.
So there's really nobody that I can't help.
A high blood pressure?
Sure.
Well, I just went to the doctor. That's what I'm asking
we'll talk about that
personally.
later.
Yeah.
I am shocked though. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's huge because then, like you said, people don't necessarily have to be coming to you for coaching because they want to lose weight.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I coach a lot of people who have absolutely no weight loss, but they might be thin and look healthy, but their
But
eating
then-
habits are junk.
Totally.
Total junk, and they don't feel well.
I just feel like that's a huge maybe misconception then
Mhm.
that people assume health coach has to do with losing weight and that's all that it is. And obviously that's very far from the truth. Like I'm sitting here as we've been talking and I'm like, there's some stuff I can sit and benefit from, you know what I mean?
Right.
From, and it's not necessarily my eating habits, but it, all kinds of other things.
Right,
Which is
it's,
huge.
It's a holistic approach. It's
Right.
proper sleep. It's stress reduction. It's proper hydration. It's nutrition. It is so much, and it's everything. And it's very overwhelming, which is one of the reasons why having a coach identify, okay, this should be your first baby step, and just doing it and taking the next step and the next step. That's all we can do.
Well, right, and helping you help guide you in the right path,
Right.
to the right next step
Yes.
instead of stepping backwards or staying stagnant too.
Right.
Wow, so that's pretty amazing. What so how have you been in your current
My current journey.
in your journey?
Yeah.
So we're all works in progress.
No, I'm glad
so-
you asked. Because when people meet with me in person, I don't look like a typical health coach. And I had to get past that in my own head and own mind, my own authenticity. Really, I had to get past it and over it. I don't have to be perfect to help someone else. I get the struggle and have full confidence in my programs. So I had a little bit of head work to get through it on that myself. But in 2015, lost 174 pounds, was fantastic. Reversed my diabetes. I'm still no longer diabetic,
wow.
which is great. Got
That's
me out my
amazing.
CPAP machine. I mean, it changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to run and play with my kids,
Right.
teach them to ride their bikes, ride on roller coaster rides with them. All these things I couldn't do when I was almost 400 pounds. And kept it off for 18 months, doing awesome, became a health coach, helping tons of people, and then life happened. And I cannot tell you how many clients I coach that this happens to, that they are doing fantastic and then a loved one passes away,
Mm-hmm.
or marital troubles, or a child gets sick, or loss of a job. Life happens.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened to me. I just to talk a little bit about what happened with me personally, I began to uncover and realize some childhood trauma that I had, and that really threw me for a loop. And so as soon as I recognized what was coming up for me and remembering these things and going through the process of all that, I knew I needed to get help, and I did get help, but I also at the same time returned to some of my old habits, emotional eating, and regained some of the weight, and that was hard, but
Yeah.
that is life. So for me, just being completely honest, if I was not a health coach, there's no doubt in my mind I would be back to 400 pounds or more. I have no doubt. Becoming a health coach really kept me in the game. It was the smartest and best move that I could make, because I said, hey, I'm a health coach. I really cornered myself in, and I cannot give up. I have all these clients depending on me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's real life. And clients are understanding, they get it. And so I kept off 70 pounds, which I'm really proud of. I've
You
never
should
done
be.
that before.
Hey,
Right.
So I thought that was pretty awesome. And I contribute that to my program and the community and my own personal health coach, Christiane, who helped me too. And I'm on my way back down. And I know I'm going to get back to my goals.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Dealing
Yes, you
through
will.
childhood trauma and all of that, it's just, it's a complex thing. And I coach a lot of women who have had childhood trauma.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things we do is we pack on pounds for protection. And so it's heavy, and it's not something that anyone wants to talk about or hear about,
But it's life.
but it's life.
And we all, I'm sure, appreciate your vulnerability and being open about your situation and your story, because it is life. And you're right, the loss of a loved one, there are things that happen that you are just not really prepared to deal with, you know what I mean? And it is easy to retract back. And so cheers to you for being able to use your program and continue to push forward through dealing with all of that, because that is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Well, I love it. I love my program. I love my clients. I love coaching. I mean, it's just, after 15 years of dental hygiene and scraping plaque and pus and loving that, because I could talk all day and my clients couldn't talk much, my patients couldn't talk much. Doing this, it's just different. The number one reason why I decided to become a health coach was I didn't want to be in a dental office anymore and miss my kids growing up. That was the number one reason. I work from home. I take my kids to school.
Mm-hmm.
I can pick them up. I can go on field trips. I work my business around what's important to me in my life. And
Well,
that's super attractive to me.
you have this beautiful energy too,
Yeah.
and
Thank
vibrancy
you.
and,
For sure.
and easiness with people that you'd be doing yourself a disservice probably to not work with people like that. So
And one thing that I want to say that I love, because what I hear, a thread, but we're not saying it, is you are a model and an example to your children. So
Oh, I love
that's a
that.
beautiful thing. You have 4 children, they've seen your journey,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure been a part of your journey as well. So I love hearing what you're talking about in your journey.
You just
With
hit
your
the nail on the
children.
head right there.
yeah, that's a huge point.
So
I
my
was
kids-
hearing it, but you
Yeah.
weren't saying it.
Yeah, no, I'm done. I choke up when I talk about my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
They helped me. It was last Saturday morning. I was working on taxes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mommy, let's go for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get to it later. But mommy, you said it's important and it's healthy.
okay.
So, I've got 4 kids ages 10 and under. One's on rollerblades, one's on a scooter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other 2 are on a scooter, and I'm walking the dog who's legitimately dragging me.
Of course, because he's got to keep up with the kids.
Yeah, but we did it.
I love
And that accountability,
Mm-hmm.
it's incredible.
Oh, you're such an awesome mom. I just, only because we have done this interview before, I know that that's another one of the main reasons that you decided to get your health in check,
Right.
is the story that you told me about your daughter.
Yeah.
And that's super touching, and I don't know if you're willing to share that again,
Well,
too.
now
if
that
that's
you brought
really
it up, I
quick,
kind of have to.
well, because it's, I'm sure you're not, you know what I mean? Someone else is going to
Because
hear
I
this.
have FOMO. I'm like, what am I missing
Well,
here?
but
right
someone
now.
else is going to hear this story maybe, and you know what I mean? Maybe that's going to be the push for them
Yeah.
to, other than their child, to make a change. It just has resonated with me. It's something I've
Mhm.
always remembered from our first interview. So
And my daughter loves it when I tell this story. She thinks she's famous, you guys.
see, she's a reason.
Totally
bro.
do 2015, I was at my most unhealthy, and I had twins. They were 5 at the time, and then a 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. And I was exhausted. So tired. I pretty much stayed in a recliner most of the day. My kids would come home from school, the twins, they'd want to go to the park, and I'm telling you, my knees were on fire. I was so tired. It was everything I could do just to get, food, cleaning the house, and there was none of me left for them. And one night I was laying in bed and I heard my daughter, Katie, she was crying in her room. And so I got up and went in her room and I said, Katie, why are you crying? And she said, I don't want to tell you, Mommy. And so of course I'm like, okay, you're telling me now, girl. So I went in there and I sat on her bed, and she said, Mommy, you're not healthy and I'm scared. 5 years old. And I'd had congestive heart failure, and I slept with this machine that made me sound like Darth Vader. I mean, it was just like, she was scared. And that right there was an eye-opening moment. It wasn't just about me anymore.
Right.
It was about them. And I made her a promise that night. I said, Katie, I'm going to get healthy. I have no idea how, but I promise you I'll get healthy. And then I remembered 6 months before, a health coach had reached out to me, talked to me about what I wanted to do. She told me what all it entailed. I'm like, nah, I've done stuff like that before. But I remembered her, called her, she got me started, and the rest is history. And my daughter was so proud of me. I mean, I took her to Thunderland, which is in Sacramento, and there's little kid rides. I could ride on those rides with her.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't just the moms on the sidelines that are, huffing and puffing and dying. But those moms are hurting. They think they can't change. They think this is what it is. And I like to stand here and say, hey, you can change. You can absolutely do it. You just need the support. You need the community, and you need to have a proven system that works.
Right. It's such a good story.
It's a great story. Thank
Thanks.
you. Thanks for
Yeah,
having
because
us.
obviously, like you said, you had already met this lady and brushed it aside as nope, not for me, not the system. I don't need that.
Right.
So just, it's pretty beautiful. Anyone else who out there might be on the fence.
I've met a lot of Jessies out there.
Maybe you should come talk to Jessee, because you really are. And I love your program and the fact that it is very tailored to your clients. So anyways, we are coming up again. Look at this. I'm getting so much better. On another commercial break, you guys. So again, gonna name a few more of our sponsors. Thank all of you ladies for showing up and sponsoring our show and helping get our vision out there. Michelle Lane Coaching, Dr. Maria Salas, I'm hoping, chiropractic, and she's also an Airborne consultant. And then also our girls Lit From Within. So thank you guys for being sponsors, and enjoy the commercial break. This is the Women of Vision show, KCNR 96.5 FM.